I saw this pop up courtesy of Steve B. Hoop, who is a senior columnist for the NBA at Heavy on Sports. He's been covering the Celtics and the NBA since 1985. So, stands to reason that he knows some people in the Celtics organization who also know and still keep contact with former Celtics coach, now Rockets coach, Ime Udoka. And this just gives me a massive pants tent. Hearing that this is who Ime Udoka is. Ime Udoka reportedly had zero interest in coaching James Harden. Ime said, quote, "It's not going to work here." Here's why this is exciting on many levels. First off, they are letting Ime Udoka do what he feels is right. And to go back to the Rafael Stone reports of meddling with Stephen Silas, as you get further and further away from the Stephen Silas era, you do get why he was perhaps a little bit meddlesome. It's not to justify. I do think it's weird that Stone was able to become the general manager after Daryl Morey when the guy was essentially a team lawyer. And you take a look at some of these contracts and you do wonder, wait, there was a market for Dylan Brooks. Somebody else was offering something close to 4 years and $80 million. But it feels like there is some autonomy in the Rockets organization separate from Tillman Fertitta, Patrick Fertitta, who are obsessed with James Harden. And that is a huge, huge thing to have in an organization. An idea of some separation of business and sports. I'm very happy to see this. And I think Steve B. Hoop probably talked to somebody that works for the Celtics who still talks to Ime Udoka. Hearing that Ime Udoka did not want Harden, it's the right move. And the people that are out there that wanted Harden back, I just do not understand you. I never will. I just don't see how you look at Ime Udoka, who the Rockets are bringing in because he is going to toughen this bunch up, and think, oh yeah, let's also bring James Harden, who is literally the yang to the yin of that.
Yeah, it shows like consistency in the image that they want in this team, like right or wrong, or no, just not right or wrong, but depending on how you feel about the specifics of especially Dylan Brooks' contract, at least that they're going into this with the mindset of like, we are getting these guys tougher. We are becoming a more physical and tough team. And that is the kind of ethos that we're running with. And it's not, we're doing that, but also here's James Harden. Like, right. You know, like they're not doing that. So that makes me, that again, it's a little bit, I said this after the deals went down this weekend, that like, we're still in the like Ime Udoka like kind of honeymoon phase, the same way that D'Amico Ryans is in with the Texans, where it's like everyone still believes in their vision because the games, you know, they haven't tipped, they haven't kicked off yet. That we trust them. It's a breath of fresh air. They're the best coaches in this city. That either or they're the best coaches that either of these teams have had in at least 3 years.
Right.
And so that is a step in the right direction of, okay, we trust the process, so to speak.
We trust the process.
Not literally trust the process.
Trust this process, not that process. The new process.
Lowercase t, trust, lowercase p, the process.
I'm really happy he's here. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. Like, this is the biggest thing the Rockets have done since they traded for Chris Paul. And, you know, we'll see what happens with the draft picks. But it really is a matter of changing the actual culture here. And seeing that report today that Udoka put his fist down. I don't know what the conversation was with Stone. I imagine Stone didn't want Harden either. It just doesn't seem to make any sense with the direction of where they're going. Like, why do you bring Harden back? This is what's been driving me crazy, too. There's not this massive love for James Harden in Houston. There is some love for James Harden in Houston. That is different from everybody banging on the drums for him to return. It's more like, well, it would be nice to have him as opposed to what we had last year versus the conquering hero returns after asking his way out of Houston and asking his way out of Brooklyn and asking his way out of Philadelphia. Like, no, it's not Benedict Arnold going from the United States to the British. who would be next? The French? This isn't
The
that.
Dutch.
Right. Like Benedict Arnold returning home. This is not that. It would have been, you're just bringing back a guy who played here for a long time. That was damn good.
Yeah, it's the nostalgia, like that they're just trafficking in like just pure nostalgia, and that is something that the Texans are also doing, but they're not like signing Mario Williams to be the defensive end. They're not signing JJ Watt. They're not signing Andre Johnson. Like that's what bringing in James, a less extreme version, but that is basically what James Harden is. It would be the, hey, remember 4 years ago, the good times?
Williams is a perfect comparison because I know some people look at Harden as like one of these just elite players ever. And statistically, you'd have a point. But I look at him like a Mario Williams. I'm like, he was really, really good, but he never really seemed like he cared that much. And I think that's a pretty critical thing to have for an athlete that you want to be the centerpiece of your organization again.